vibration. Show the world what you got to give.
All right, welcome all. Today is Friday, June 19th, and Raise Your Vibration Online. We have some exciting guests today. But first, before I announce the guests, I've got my hostess, Claire.
Hey.
Hey, Claire, how's it going?
I'm having fun already.
Yep, awesome. I love the hat. Very
Thanks.
cool. So, yeah, we have some great guests. We've got Clifford Starks, who has been on the show. He was on our very first podcast, actually. And Clifford is amazing. He was at our live event that we had here in Phoenix back in October, I think it was. And he is inspirational, personal coach, helps a lot of people with physical training. He's been a UFC fighter, professional for years, and his inspiration and motivation is just contagious. So look forward to having Clifford speak in a little bit here. Thanks, Clifford. And before we do, yeah, thank you. And we've got Kai Cox, who's going to be doing a meditation for us later on. But first, before we do any of that, as always, we are going to have music. And we have special guest Paula Taylor and her husband Daniel are going to be here. And they will start us off with one of their songs that they wrote. So, hey, Paula and Daniel, how's it going? Welcome.
Good. How are you?
Very good. Look forward to hearing you play today.
We're excited to be here.
Great. All right, take it away.
All right, so this is a song that I wrote called You Are the Light. You are the light. The light is in you. No need to look out. What's inside is true. What's inside is true. The still small voice inside you speaks softly. It's easy to hear once thoughts are not blocking. The noise of the mind grows silent in time. You are the light. The light is in you. No need to look out. What's inside is true. What's inside is true. You look at the world, sometimes it seems dark. Turn inward instead, and you'll find the spark. The noise of the mind grows silent in time. You are the light. The light is in you. No need to look out. What's inside is true. What's inside is true. Start looking inside to access your knowing. The light in your heart will continue growing. The noise of the mind grows silent in time. You inside is true.
Excellent. Thank you, Paul and Daniel.
Thank you.
Look forward to hearing some more later. So,
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much.
all right, Claire, you want to jump out here and say anything?
Well, we have quite a nice turnout today, and I'm excited about that because we are building an awareness. I can't wait till we're live in our in-person events, hopefully soon. But in the meantime, anybody has a musician that you think would fit this venue, please send them to me at lukeandclairemusic@gmail.com, and I'll put that in the chat. So, yeah, but I'm excited about our speakers, and I'm excited to have all of you here. And thank you, Howard. Thank you very much for hosting.
Yeah, thank you for being here, Claire. And yeah, like you said, we used to have live events when we were allowed to have live events. It was great. And we had a few great ones with hundreds of people who showed up. And now we're online, and hopefully it'll be live again soon. But thank you, all of you, for taking an hour out of your time today to be here and raise our vibration together. We all know right now these are interesting times on the planet. So for all of us to come together as community with music and inspiration and motivation, it feels good to have online community, at least as much as we can. And if you want to go to our website, it's raiseyourvibrationevent.com, and you can check out all of the past events and all the recordings from our online events. So that's that. And today we have, as I said, Clifford Starks, who is on our first show. He is a great friend of mine. He's become a great friend of mine over the past few months, actually. And he is a very inspirational, motivational gentleman who helps a lot of people and is a personal coach for a lot of people. And look forward to having him on today. So Clifford, please jump out here. You want to unmute yourself, brother? There you go. All right.
Hey, brother.
Welcome.
What's up, Claire?
Hey, it's so good to see you. This is way better than not seeing people other than a picture on Facebook or something, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We get to FaceTime and get some real presence and enjoy some ambiance of each other's good energy.
100%.
Exactly.
Oh, thank you for joining us again.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys had me on. And Howard, as you know, I always appreciate and love you.
Thank you.
One
Same
of the
here, man.
brothers.
Yes. And so what are you going to be talking about today, Cliff?
So what I was thinking on was I have 6 principles that I go by. And my 6 principles, I call them the power of 6. I was thinking, do I talk about each principle or do I just focus on one topic? And I decided I'm going to focus on one topic. And so it's going to be the first principle that I focus on. The reason I focus on them this way is because it's important to get each principle down first before you get to the next one. And so the first principle is about thinking big and feeling big. You know, getting to that big space in who you are. And I want everyone here to know you're unique, you're special, and you have unique talents, gifts, and skill sets. But now it's about, well, how do I get to that big feeling? How do I get to that feeling and that thinking piece and really get it going to where it needs to go? Because I want to go deeper than just say, hey, just think big in your life and good things will happen. It's more about, okay, how do I go about doing that? And so it starts with get really clear on what it is you want in your life. And I want you all to join me with this too, is find clarity in what it is specifically you're going after. And then once you get clarity on it, ask yourself, are you limiting yourself in your clarity and what you want? Or are you thinking as big as you can? And what I mean by that is too often we say we can have one thing and not the other. You know, what, you want your cake and to eat it too? You know, you can have all things. Like if you had a perfect world in perfect alignment, what would you have? Where would your relationships be? Where would your health be? Where would you financially be? I want you to think of your perfect world. And in the perfect world, I would say, if you had infinite amount of cash, if you had infinite amount of resources, what would you be doing with your life? And everybody's going to have their own, like, oh, well, I would do this, this, and this. Or, okay, well, I would do this, this, and this. And oftentimes people are actually thinking much smaller than they can, you know? And so start with, okay, clarity in that piece, and clarity in a way of, if I could have it all. If I could have it all, what would it be? And what some things I'll challenge is, like, for instance, look inwardly, right? And start challenging your perspective, because our perspectives are what can be holding us to where we're at. And I get our perspectives have gotten us to where we are now, but our perspectives usually won't get us to where we want to go. And so when we can start changing that framework and figure out, like, yeah, you could have it all. Yeah, you could be in this position. It's asking yourself, if my health was right, what would that feel like? All things are hard at first, but they're hard until they become easy. If you practice something long enough, it's going to become easy. And so, for instance, if you're looking at your health and you're saying, Cliff, I can't eat that way. I like eating my crappy food too much. Well, guess what? I like eating crappy food too. And I do eat crappy food. But I figured out the balance that works for me. Just like everybody has their own balance that is going to work for them. Then there's relationships. And we've all been in those relationships where it's tough. It's a tough relationship. And what people do is they go really external on it and say, if this person wasn't this way, or if this person didn't do that thing, or if this person, like, no, look at you first. Look at you first. Control what you can control first. And realize you are a product of your environment, but you're also a creator in your environment. And if you want to change that, look within before you change it. Because if we change it and we're constantly changing our environment, we really quickly soon realize that we're just recreating this same environment over and over and over again. Because it's not that internal dialogue that we need to have with ourselves and saying, like, well, what do I need to change about me? What do I need to find out about me? What do I need to figure out? Even if someone's triggering you, if someone's pissing you off, if your life's difficult, look at you first. That's where the answers are at. They're not outside of you. And that's what we look at. And so think big means go internally, because everyone's big's going to be different. What's your big? Don't go on what society says big is. What is big to you? What do you want to feel? Where do you want to be? Who do you want to become? And then we all know that financial piece. You know, we're all trying to get our money right. I say the most important piece we have is time. We can't get that back. You know, finances, we can always play with our finances, and we can figure out what financially works and what financially doesn't work. But you can't get your time back. And too often people are busy chasing the dollar, chasing it, instead of going like, okay, what steps can I do to grow my assets correctly and limit my liabilities so that I can have the time and the freedom to really live the life I want to live? You know, even if we were to get to $5 million, I guarantee we can get to all of the dreams that we're looking for with $5 million. Like, I don't think anyone's going to think like, well, I want to build this rocket ship and go to the moon and live on there. Like, you know, like, what is your big thought? And when you get to like, well, my big thought is this, and then you reverse engineer it, and then you start realizing like, oh, I can get to that thing. As long as I keep my focus, I can absolutely get to that thing and put it together. And so I go back to the uniqueness of each and every one of us. You know, there is God inside of all of us. We're all our own special creator. And when I coach people, I'm not coaching them to live in my identity. I'm coaching them to live in their own identity. And when they start thinking the way they want to think again, instead of like what society has told them to think, then it starts becoming easier again because the passion comes back. You get passionate when you're going after your dream, but we get conditioned to forget about our dream. Or for a moment, we kind of had this dream playing in our head and we were kind of going after it. And then we get stuck in this autopilot of, oh crap, I'm building someone else's dream. And my thing is, go build out your dream. Go see your dream out. Go after that dream. And go after it with confidence and belief that it's going to happen. And it's not to say it's going to be easy, because it's not. It is going to be hard. But I'll tell you one thing that would be harder is to not even have your dream become a reality. There's nothing harder than that. See, the thing is, we forget hard is going to be there whether we like it or not. And we can have hard reactively and just kind of let life take us wherever it takes us and go, well, I didn't even get my dream. Well, you didn't go after it. You didn't think about it. You didn't feel into it. And I know some of my clients are actually here too, and they know my personality. My personality is when I want to get something, I'm going after that thing every single time. And I remind other people, you absolutely do the same thing. Claire, an absolute sweetheart. I got to meet with her and her husband, and I got to hear her experiences. And wow, what amazing stories. You know, like we all have them. We all have amazing stories, and we forget it. Like it's like we leave our story on the side. Like, no, your story is a gift. Like, hold on to that story. That's where all the learning's at. That's where all the growth is at. And what we do is like, oh, I made this mistake here, and I made this mistake here, and I got to stop thinking big. I got to play just small enough so I don't fail. You will fail. You will fail if you play small. So why not fail big so that you can get to where you were supposed to go anyway? And so 3 steps for you. 3 steps. One is visual. What can you visualize that will make you feel bigger, that will make you think bigger? What visualization can you have? What videos can you play? What boards can you put up? What can you put up on your wall to make sure that you do it? Because it's a habit. Thinking big's a habit, just like anything else. And so if we have enough visuals and they're in front of us, it's going to help us to maintain that goal. It's going to help remind us what we need to do. The next is audio. What are you listening to? And this is other people's thoughts, other people's opinions, and your thoughts and your opinions. Who are you listening to? Because if you're listening to the right voices, that's when you grow. And if you're listening to the wrong voices, that's where you shrink. And this is what gets really, really interesting. Everyone's on different paths and different platforms because there are no wrong voices to me. People who tell me I cannot do something, great. People tell me I can do something, great. Awesome. But everyone's on different stages because some people, they might break down when someone tells them they can't do something. So get away from those people. Control your environment as much as you can. If you're not ready for that stage yet, you're not ready for it. And that's fine. It's the same thing as if you took someone who could only do 5 push-ups and you tell them, well, you need to do 50, but they can't do 50. They only know how to do 5. But you can train them into that. And that's where those voices are going to play a role. So really listen to your audio. And when you start feeling down on yourself or broken down or not worthy, get away from it. Get away from it and grow into the person you need to grow into. And eventually, those voices won't matter anymore. They won't mean anything. The next, kinesthetic. And kinesthetic means, what is your motion doing? When you get big, when you believe in yourself, when you go in on yourself, that's when life starts getting easier. We know what confidence sounds like. And we know what being like kind of freaked out sounds like. You know, a little bit scared and timid. It's hard for me to sound scared and timid, but I'm trying. But here's the thing. What I'm saying is, how you show up is going to show up. So if you show up big, and I'm not saying fake it till you make it. I'm saying be it. Be what you need to be, because everything else will follow through. When you're your superhero, because you are a superhero, and don't let anyone break that from you. There's a superhero in every single one of us with different skill sets and different powers. When you're your superhero, you're impenetrable. You become unstoppable. And here's the other cool thing. You start attracting other superheroes, because people don't have time to be small thinkers. People don't have time for that. I'm in the Big Thinker Club. And the Big Thinker Club is just think as big as you need to think for you in the step that you're in it. Because I know you're just going to continue to think bigger anyway. You know, my journey started with, I'm a little fat kid, right? I just wanted to lose weight. That's all I wanted. Well, that was big thinking to me back then. That's perfectly fine. That was big thinking for that kid. If I would have said, oh no, you can fight in the UFC and you can graduate from ASU in kinesiology, you can wrestle, you can do all these things, it would be too much. So what I'm saying is, don't get yourself in trouble with, okay, he's telling me to think big, so I need to think massively. Like, no, think as big as you need to think. Think big enough to where it makes you nervous, but not so big to where it paralyzes you. If we can just think big enough to where it's uncomfortable, we move into our greatness. You know, I'll tell you guys right now, when Howard invited me onto this, I get nervous every time I start a speech. Every time, because I care. I don't want to give you guys a bad presentation. I don't. But I know I have to step up on the stage anyway to give a presentation. Because if I don't do anything, well, then nothing has happened. So I'd rather do it, fall flat on my face and get better at it, than not do it and sit on the sidelines and say, crap, I didn't do anything with my life. And so that's my reminder to every one of you. When you get nervous, do it. And the nervousness might not completely go away, but you'll get better at what you're doing. You'll fall forward, and you'll keep thinking big, and you'll keep feeling big. Because the right people are going to come along in your journey when you need them, and they're going to help rise you up. And so what I want to end with is, the only time I'm looking down on anyone is when I'm putting my hand out to lift them up. Because I know there's greatness in you, and I know you're a superstar. And if you can think that, and you know it's possible, that's the foundation. And then you move from there. Thank you, my brother.
All right. Thank you, Cliff. That was amazing.
Yay!
As always. Hey, do you want to, you don't seem nervous at all, so you're doing a great job of going into your fear and your nervousness. So,
Thank you.
and I'm the same way. And every time before the show, I'm not a public speaker. I never was a public speaker. I was always nervous about doing this. So this is definitely challenging me too, to get out here and be in front of everyone. And I love it. The more I do it, the easier it gets, like you said.
Absolutely. And respect to you.
Thank you. So, and but you want to tell everyone about your book or your program that you're developing here? I know you have a program, a 6-step program coming up.
Yeah, so I'm going to be coming out with a course called The Power of 6. And what it's going to do is lay down each principle, right? The step-by-steps, you know, the how to, the when to, and the exercises needed to move forward. Because I think it's funny, we talk about how it is all internal. it's not all internal. It just starts internal. You know, everything starts from the internal, but there are external factors, and external factors can either help us or hurt us on our journey. And so that's where I wanted to come up with these principles to get people supercharging forward. Because that's what it like when I followed them myself and I started having other people follow them, I'm like, holy crap, this is how this works. You know, I worked the system in the way that made it make the most sense for me as I went through my coaching process, being coached on my journey and dealing with personal development for so long. I'm like, oh, so this is how it works. This is the science behind it. And so for anyone who's interested in it, make sure to join my Awaken the Greatness Within, because I should have the beta out within the next 3 weeks.
Okay, and you put that information in the chat, right? How to get a hold of you, okay, cool. And also on our website will be all your information too.
Awesome,
So,
appreciate you.
Yeah. All right, look forward to it, Cliff. Thanks for being here again. And we're gonna open up for some questions or comments. If anyone wants to jump out and say anything to Cliff, please unmute yourself.
I'm getting a lot of thank yous on the presentation. Thank you. Let me try and read some of these. So I got Sean, Paul, Margaret. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
You know, Cliff, I just want to say that you are walking your talk. You're an example of what you talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You really have that. It's like a presence and a vibe of no matter what. I don't know if you've read Lisa Nichols' book or you know who she is.
I do, yeah.
But you know, there's a capacity that you obviously have developed to decide to go in the right direction, the one that's going to take you the farthest. Start heading in that direction, and you admit that, oh my God, I got nervous doing the next thing that's bigger for me, a stretch for me. But you obviously have like a momentum. You have an ability to demonstrate that even if you have your fears, you've got an accumulated momentum and energy toward your goal that's going to carry you right through that.
Yes, thank you.
I love what you were saying about put it out in front of you, get the images, the pictures, the audio, the people. Obviously, you've been doing that for a while. What was the obstacle that made it necessary for you to learn how to do that? What was it that made you decide, I'm going to get through all these obstacles? Maybe it was from your athletic background or, you know, what was it that got you to this place of so much momentum?
So my grandfather passed away when I was 5 years old, and it shook me. You know, it absolutely terrified me, and it made me realize, like, oh, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm gonna die. And it just my parents were there to support me. I appreciate and love them because they were a big piece in me having the support to be okay, you know, to be okay. And just like, and I answered, I'm gonna die with, I have to live. You know, I have to live. And then I realized, like, when you talk about the momentum, it doesn't stop. Like, you're so right about that. It just keeps going and growing and building. Mine's about legacy. Like, now I look at it and go, like, oh, I can't die. Like, I can't. If I create a legacy big enough, I can create a legacy bigger than this body, than this piece. And that's what we're here to do. Like, that's what we miss. And I couldn't have known that as a 5-year-old kid. You know, I was just like, I gotta live. Like, I just gotta live my life. And that's when I started going, like, I'm gonna live life no matter what people say, no matter, and you hear all the voices and all the noise of telling you how you should live and what you should do and what you should be. And I'm like, they're not experiencing what I'm experiencing, right? The only thing we're experiencing together, finally, this coronavirus is something we're all experiencing together. And this is almost in a weird sort of a way, a beautiful time, because it's like, it's the one thing that we all have together. The one thing we have to fight together. I hope that answered your question.
Well, yeah, I just think we all have personal challenges along the way, and they're decision points. Like you just said, you decided I have to live. Right?
Mhm.
And then later in life, you knew that was by creating a legacy that you wanted to build. So it just seems like the biggest challenges we run into are our opportunities to create a stronger decision and more momentum.
Yeah, I love, because this is a word that comes up a lot in what I speak on, momentum. You know, I was dealing with a guy who was dealing with a drug problem, and I had been coaching him for a little bit, and then he did end up using. He used again, and he stopped himself, and he goes, I would have normally taken like 50 hits, but I took 4, and I thought about what you said, like, build your momentum. And so I knew if I stopped now, I could actually keep moving in the direction that I needed to move into. And so we get like little cues as we go through our journey. It's kind of scary and crazy a little bit, but we get little cues and we find the people we need to find when we need to find them. Like when me and Howard were introduced, it was at the perfect time for where I needed him in my journey.
And vice versa.
I want to ask one last thing, and then I'll let go because I'm hogging all your time here. But when you're encountering this one obstacle in your face in any given moment in life, whether it's COVID, I can't go out and perform as a musician, I got to find a way around this. What do you do to find the one action step? Because I know overwhelm for me is like, oh my God, there's all these things I should be doing. All these ways I should be reaching out to people and spreading the word about Luke and Claire, getting our music out. And it becomes overwhelming really fast. So
Yeah.
How do you get yourself to, what is that one right step? There's always only one, right, in the moment?
Yeah. So I call it show up, right? And showing up just means being your best you in the moment that you're in. And so if I can just be my best me in the moment that I'm in, I'll build into what I need to build into. And that's, I call it, I also talk about practice having faith early and often. Practice having it before you need it. Like a lot of people will practice it, but they'll practice it when they need it instead of practicing it when they don't. You know, and so mine is just like, all right, if I just show up when life is really, really hard, and that's why I show up when it's not hard too. You know, I stay as present as I can. I show up as consistently as I can.
That's awesome. That's exactly the way to do it. Be in the moment, like you said, Cliff, and then everything just shows up there for opportunity.
Yeah.
Love that. Love it. All right, a couple more questions here. Anyone else want to jump out, say anything?
I'll jump in. Clifford, awesome presentation, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
I've known Cliff for a couple of years now, but it's funny, this COVID-19 thing has made us meet literally pretty much every week. I've been having the pleasure of seeing him and learning more about him and what an amazing person he is. He is part of our community, and everyone just loves Clifford, his energy, what he stands for, and what he believes. So appreciate you very much. It's funny, the talk about taking action and building the momentum. It's one thing that I've kind of been a lot of thinking about. And every week I kind of try to create a theme for myself and say, this week I'm going to be focusing on this kind of above everything else. And this week my theme was take massive actions. And, you know, the Marines have bias towards action. When you have too many decisions to make and you almost have that paralysis analysis, just pick one decision and go for it. So I've kind of said, you know, I'm going to take massive actions, just not any action, because we can kind of tend to get busy with little things and to-do lists and tasks. and the day is gone and you realize you haven't had that gratification or the fulfillment. So taking big, giant, massive actions is what my theme is this week, and it applies in all the areas. The one question I have for you, Clifford, knowing that you're a father and you're a family man, and we shared a lot of conversations and thoughts on that, how has being a father and a parent changed your perspective, especially when it comes to that legacy that you were talking about? Because that's something that I totally identify with and I understand, but how has that impacted your overall vision and just motivation to build things as a parent, as a father?
Yeah, it's been a huge step for me, specifically because our principles and what we live by affect everything. And I mean everything. And so as our legacy carries out, best believe the people in our lives are carrying that out too. And so when we do our best, and I mean our very best, it shows up in everything that we create. And so that's why it's critical. It's critical to have the plans and to take the necessary actions, because you know it's going to show up externally in everything that you do, in your family, in your friends, in your wife, in your kid or kids, my kid. But I know that every time I show up, he's watching me.
Right.
Like he starts doing burpees with me. He speaks the way I speak. He's joyful and loving the way that I am. He's actually very present too. And it makes me so proud. And so it makes me not rest on my laurels and say, I can show up better. And I can show up better. Like every day I'm trying to get better. I'm not trying to like maintain this thing. Like I'm just going to maintain, like, screw that. Screw that. There's a book called From Good to Great. It's about being great. Life's about being great, not good. I just did good enough. I'm not leaving that legacy for my son. I refuse to do that. To just be like, yeah, I lived a pretty good life. Like, no, I want my son to be like, my dad was amazing.
Right. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, thanks for jumping out, Sean.
Sure.
Good to see you on here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. One more. Anyone else want to jump out real quick?
Hey, yeah, hi, this is Margaret, yeah.
What's up,
Hi.
Margaret?
Hey, so yeah, Clifford, I have a question for you. So what is that one learning that you keep in your head forever? You know, like that one thing in your head that you cannot let go of. A reminder.
Okay. So I call it the power of one, right? So
Okay.
my mom had me, this was in second grade, and we're reading this book that has Spanish in it. Why? I don't know. I think the teacher just wanted to make fun of me. So my mom stayed up with me all night trying to figure out this damn book. Like, I'm like, Mom, I can't understand it. She's like, you're gonna understand it. I'm like, dear God. So I'm reading it, and I finally picked it up. Like, I understood it. And so when we got into class, I was the only one who could understand the book. No one else. So every time people would try and read parts of, even the teacher had trouble reading parts of the book, she would call on me. And it was such an amazing feeling. Like, it was such an amazing feeling to be like, I'm the only one who can read the book. No one else can read the book.
Wow.
Practice so much.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just like, I just kept practicing. Success, I do have to say this. So in the marketing world, right, they try and market success as easy. Some of them do, not all of them. But they're like, oh, in 30 days you can, like, no, you got to fail a lot. It's got to suck. It's got to suck until it doesn't suck. Because being able to read that didn't suck. That felt amazing. Being the only person who could do it felt great. And that's where I go, oh, if I practice something enough, I'll get good at it. So it's the power of one. Just practice one thing and practice it consistently. Just how Sean was saying, massive action,
Mm-hmm.
massive action. So you can fail, get your failure out of the way, and then live your life. Like people want to be like, no, I just want to live my life. Like, no, you got to fail in life to live life, to truly live it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my God, that's amazing. Wow. Wow,
Margaret's my
Clifford.
superstar. She's been holding it down. So great question, Margaret.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you, Clifford. You're an inspiration. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Margaret.
Welcome.
All right, Cliff. As I said, your passion is definitely contagious. So that's why so many people love you, man. You're so contagious, and it's awesome. And keep up the work, brother. Keep on moving forward and helping the world. I appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you.
Definitely have you back on, and a lot more you and I are going to be doing together. So look forward to it.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. Well, we have more music from Paula Taylor. And Paula, you there? Can't see your video. You want to turn your video on? Uh-oh. Paula. Oh, where are you?
Here we are.
All right. Welcome. All right. So I'll talk a little bit about Paula is actually, I met her through Kai Cox, who is going to be do our meditation today, who I know through BioTouch in Tucson, Arizona. It's a nonprofit organization. Paul Bucky, who's on with us today, is brought BioTouch to the world, and it definitely is a nonprofit. It's changed my life in many ways, and it's amazing how all the connections with Kai and now Paula, everything comes together here. So very exciting to have
Kai through BioTouch as well. So
okay, awesome, Paula. I didn't know that. Great. Well, you have a background in energy work, right? In Reiki and massage therapy.
I do.
And
I've been a Reiki and massage therapist, Reiki master and massage therapist for almost 20 years. And
okay.
I wrote a book, and I'm also a musician.
Oh, great. All right. I can't see you on my screen here. Can other people see her? No. Yeah, they can. I can't.
Yeah, Paula, I'm able to see you. Your volume is a little bit low. If you could increase your volume just a little bit, and then
is that
make
better?
Sure yes.
All right, we can hear you. Yeah, there you are. Okay, great. All right, so you have a band, right? And you've been playing since 2011, in theory.
Yeah,
is that right?
So I actually have a degree in music, so I've been playing classical music on like my whole life. And my husband Daniel is a guitar player, and so he started a band as a rock band back in 2011, and it sort of evolved over time. Now we do mostly jazz and pop, but I was really excited when Kai and I talked about us doing some music for this, and I write my own meditation music for my guided meditations, and I've been looking to get into doing more spiritually based music, some, music with a positive message. And so I wrote that song, You Are the Light, and it really kind of ties into a lot of what Clifford was saying about, looking inside and kind of finding that light and stoking that light and building that light so that you can be big and accomplish big things.
Most definitely. Excellent. Well, we look forward to hearing a couple more from you too. So please take it away.
This next song was originally recorded by a band called Pink Martini, and it also goes along with what Clifford was saying. It's kind of about perseverance, and it's a little cute, fun little song that we thought you guys would enjoy, and it's got a little clarinet at the beginning. So this is called Hang On Little Tomato. has left and forgotten me. It's dark, I cannot see. Why does this rain pour down? I'm gonna drown in a sea of deep confusion. Somebody told me, I don't know who. Whenever you are sad and blue, and you're feeling all alone and left behind, just take a look inside you and you'll find you gotta hold on through the night. Hang on, things will be all right. Even when it's dark and not a bit of sparkling, sing-song sunshine from above, spreading rays of sunny love. Just hang on to the vine, stay on, soon you'll be divine. If you start to cry, look up to the sky. Something's coming up ahead to turn your tears to dew instead. And so I hold on to this advice. When change is hard and not so nice, if you listen to your heart the whole night through, your sunny someday will come one day soon to you.
Yay, that was so cool.
Oh,
That
thank
was
you so much.
very cool.
That was
We love
awesome.
that. That's a cute little kind of uplifting song that we picked just because it's about hanging on, staying with things. So, and then our last song is pretty famous. I think everybody here will probably have heard it. It's a Jason Mraz song, and I picked it because we try to cover artists that have positive, inspirational lyrics, and he's one of my favorites in terms of singing about love and connection. So this is I'm Yours by Jason Mraz. Oh, hold on, I almost forgot my shaker. Okay. Well, you done me, and you bet I felt it. Tried to be chill, but you're so hot that I melted. Fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my bestest. Nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. Reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Well, open up your mind and see like me. Open up your plans and damn, you're free. Look into your heart and you'll find love, 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 love. Listen to the music of the moment, people dance and sing. We're just one big family, and it's our God-forsaken right to be loved, 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 loved. So I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm sure there's no need to complicate. Our time is short. This is our fate. I'm yours. I've been spending way too long chucking my tongue in the mirror, bending over backwards just to try to see it clearer. My breath fogged up the glass, so I drew a new face and I laughed. I guess what I'm saying is there ain't no better reason to rid yourself of vanities and just go with the seasons. It's what we aim to do. Our name is our virtue, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Well, open up your mind, see like me. Open up your plans and damn, you're free. Look into your heart and you'll find the sky is yours. So please don't, please don't, please don't. There's no need to complicate, 'cause our time is short. This is our fate. I'm yours.
Excellent.
Thank you. And I wanted to also say this, we perform a lot, but this is our first Zoom show and I was so nervous. So I really appreciated what Cliff was saying about being nervous and just doing it anyway. And, you know, that's how we grow. You got to get outside of that comfort zone. So I appreciate you giving us the chance to do this.
Well, you sounded great. Excellent.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for being here. Look forward to having you two on again, hopefully soon.
Great.
And yeah, all your information again, all the information is on the chat and on our website. We're going to have it there. Probably this replay will be up in a few days on the website. So definitely share it with everyone. And also anyone who knows any other musicians or speakers that want to be here, everyone who comes on here, this is a platform for them to get their message out there. So please send them our way. And thanks again, Paula and Daniel. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Last but not least, Kai. If you want to jump out here, Kai. Well, Kai makes all the memes every week, all the designs that we send out on Facebook. And so thanks for being our designer, Kai. Appreciate you.
Love doing it.
Yeah. And she's also a massage therapist, a BioTouch practitioner, a certified teacher of BioTouch, and also a meditation teacher, right? So she wanted to come out here. We wanted her to come out here today and do a little meditation on, we're going to be doing on spiritual guides and asking for a symbol to manifest, right? So awesome. We all need a little more manifestation in our life in positive ways. So yeah, why don't you get going here and we look forward to it.
Perfect. Thank you, Howard. So love the talk so far. Everything's been incredible. On this journey, I find it very beneficial to connect with our spirit guides. So today we're going to do a meditation for that. Whether you've connected with them before or if this is the first time you're ever hearing about them, that's totally fine. Both ways work. And every way works. So go ahead. If you're sitting with your feet flat on the ground, I want you to close your eyes. We're going to get grounded into our body first. So we're going to bring the breath all the way from our feet up to the head, out through our crown. So bring it in. Let's do that 3 times. Now this time when we exhale, I want you to put your tongue on the roof of your mouth and you're going to exhale as if you're blowing out birthday candles. We're really going to get grounded in our body. Perfect. And with those eyes closed, I want you to imagine you're at a campfire. Really take a look into the fire. See the reds, the orange, the yellows. Take a look at the center. See the blue. And now I want you to zoom out and notice your surroundings. Where is your campfire? Are you in the desert? Are you in a valley? Are there any trees around you? Maybe you're surrounded by pines, And if so, take a deep breath in and smell those pine needles. I want you to take a moment and look up. What does the sky look like? Is it jet black? Is it filled with stars? Really notice those surroundings. Now I want you to bring your focus back to the fire. Notice the seats that are around the fire. Are they rocks? Are they logs? Are they just simple pop-up chairs? Whatever they are, go ahead and take a seat. For mine, I imagine rocks, so I go ahead and sit on that rock. And then I notice, and I want you to notice, all the rocks that are around that fire with you. Throughout our lives, we have spirit guides that are here to help us. We have some that stay for our whole lifetimes, and we have some that come for particular things we are working on. So I want you to take a moment and introduce yourself to any spirit guides that are currently there. If this is your first time meeting them, go ahead, say hello, get to know them, maybe ask them for their name. With your mind's eye, I really want you to see them. Maybe there's one, maybe there's 100. Whatever comes to you is perfect. Now, if you're trying so hard to see these spirit guides and you're not seeing anything, I want you to release and notice what you feel or hear. It doesn't just have to be a sight. We communicate through vibrations. Some of you may know that we're approaching a new moon, and the new moon is perfect for manifesting. It gives us extra power to really put our dreams into place. So I want you to ask them for guidance on what you should be manifesting this month. What is the perfect thing for you to focus on and bring into your life? Take a moment and hear what they have to say. Look into the fire, see if there's a symbol they're giving you. Maybe it's a feather, maybe it's a number or a letter that you'll notice and you'll know it's them connecting with you. And breathe. Now I want you to reach out your hand, and I want you to ask them to place that symbol in your hand. Maybe they draw it, maybe they physically place it there. Whatever that is, I want you to hold it for a moment. Feel what it feels like to have that in your hand. We all have so many more senses than what we physically use the 5 senses every day. We all have these gifts that we just need to practice. So really go ahead and feel that in your hand. And now bring it to your heart. You can now know that this symbol is with you. And throughout your month, you can come back to the symbol. You can just simply think about it and know that you're connected and you're working on your dreams. Or you might forget about it, and that's totally fine, and then they'll show it to you again. Maybe it'll be a feather in your path, or you'll look up while you're driving and see someone's license plate and know that that's a sign for you. However they're going to communicate with you is perfect. Breathing and feeling grounded in our body. We're going to thank everyone for their time. If you want to give hugs to the people, to these spirits that have always been with you or that are helping you in this moment, however feels right to you. We are going to say goodbye now. This was just a brief introduction or a brief getting to see them. This is something you can come back and do every day. And then when you're feeling ready, we're going to come back to our bodies. We're going to rub our hands together gently. Our hands are an extension of our heart chakras. We're going to make sure we're fully back in our body. One body, one soul. Remembering to breathe. And when you're ready, gently place those hands over your eyes. You're going to lightly tap on your third eye, which is right in the center of your forehead. This is a light reminder that we have senses more than just our five. We can be a sixth sensory being. Gently go ahead and open your eyes. When you're ready, you can place your hands back in your lap. I thank you all for your time. I hope you enjoyed. If you would like to keep meeting with your spirit guides, please feel free to reach out to me or do this on your own. Living a spirit guided life has truly changed my life, and I hope it does for you as well.
Great. Thank you, Kai. So your information is in the chat, right?
Yeah.
Did you put it in? Okay. That was great. Thank you. Got to get back here. Hold on a second.
Yeah, that was a disaster because we were kind of running out of time, but hopefully.
Yeah. No, that was great. That was perfect. And you're going to be speaking, actually. You're going to be one of the speakers in July 17th. Is that right? You're coming out here? Okay. So we look forward to that. Having you out here, giving more of your inspiration and knowledge.
I'm excited.
Thank you. All right. Claire, you want any last words here?
That was beautiful, and I think about that a lot as a musician, how much help is behind the scenes waiting to come through. So it's nice when it gets specific acknowledgement and attention. Thank you, Kai. That was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I look forward to hearing you for half an hour next month.
All right. And thanks everyone for being here. Just want to give a little update what's going on for next week. We've got J.A. Plusker, who has written a few books. Actually, he's got the Nobody's Guide podcast. He's a good friend of mine. He wrote a book called An Auditory Silence, and he has his law degree and a master's in counseling. He's phenomenally knowledgeable, and his wisdom goes far. So look forward to having him. As well as Todd Herzog will be our musician again next week. And Todd, again, he's inspirational. He's got like 8 CDs out there with some phenomenal spiritual music. So look forward to having him on. And every Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, join us online for right now until we're live, which hopefully live in person, which hopefully will be October or November at the latest. So that's it. Have a great week. Keep raising your vibration, and look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.
Raise your vibration. Show the world what you got to give.